Today we are going to start lipid chemistry. This is a very important topic in your MBBS, first MBBS. Not only that, in future when you become doctors, lot of clinical implications are there with this lipid related topic. Okay, so listen carefully. Any idea what is lipid? Fat, butter, ghee, oil, everything are lipid. Today we are going to discuss these topics. What is lipid definition? Functional lipids, functional lipids, classification, and then we discuss one by one. Simple lipid, complex lipid, derived lipid, and miscellaneous lipids, and little bit discuss today about fatty acids. Okay, so we are going to discuss this topic in 2 lecture classes. First class today, this is part 1, and next day we discuss part 2 about clinical applications of lipid. So definition of lipid: lipids are organic substances. Okay, they usually do not dissolve in water, but they dissolve in organic solvents like ether, hot alcohol, acetone, okay, etc. And they are related with fatty acid. So, if you ask in bio exam, please define lipid, they have to say this thing: lipids are organic compounds which are relatively insoluble in water but soluble in organic solvents like ether, benzene, acetone, hot alcohol, etc. And they are related to fatty acids. Everyone should aware of this thing, definition. Next. So before going to the classification of lipid, so let's discuss something about what is the function of lipid. Lipids have various functions. They are actually storage form of energy in your body. Anyone tell me, if you burn 1 gram of fat, the how much amount of energy release? Ke bolte pabe? 1 gram of fat, if we burn it, then we get how much energy? You read in class 12, 9 kilocalorie. Okay. If we burn 1 gram of carbohydrate, then we get 4 kilocalorie. If we burn 1 gram of protein, 4 kilocalorie. But in fat, more than 2 times, 9 kilocalorie. So you can understand how much energy it is storing. So in our body we can store energy in the form of lipid. So in a diverse tissue we store as fat, mainly in triglycerides. Next, we already discussed in our cell structural component classes. Cell membrane has got lipid bilayer. So it is a functional lipid cell membrane. Lot of hormones like steroid hormones derived from lipids. Steroid hormones like estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, etc. These are all steroid hormones. Cholesterol is also part of lipid. Next, they act as a surfactant, detergents. We use soap daily, during bath. Soap are made up of lipids. Emulsifying agent like bile acids, bile salts, they act as emulsifying agents. They also have derived from lipids. Bile acids like sodium taurochloride, sodium glycol, potassium taurochloride, potassium glycol, these are all bile salts. You will read in your bilirubin metabolism classes in details. Okay. Next, they act as an insulator in neuronal membrane. Okay. So, if the patient is suffering from lipid deficiency, he may suffer from cellular membrane damage, neuronal degeneration. Though this is very rare, but sometimes we can find patient receiving a long-term treatment like cholesterol-lowering drug, like statin group of drugs. Have you heard the term statin? Atorvastatin, rosuvastatin, these are all statin groups of drugs. If you use them for long time, patient may suffer like dry skin, dementia also. They provide a thermal insulator in your body. Do you heard the polar bear? They reside in North Pole. Polar bear. क्यों नाम सुनो नहीं? Polar bear, bear, ভালুক। কথা বলো আমার সঙ্গে। শুনেছো তো? Polar bear. Polar bear, they live in a area where temperature very low, even less than 30 degrees Celsius. How can they survive? Fat. So fat is a very good insulator. Even the sea lion, they live in an area where temperature is very low, freezing type temperature. They survive because of fat. Fat is work as an insulator. Okay, in our body we have viscera, abdominal viscera. The viscera, they kept safe by one system that is called momentum. Have you heard of momentum? Peritoneum, নাম শুনেছো তো? Peritoneal cavity. Anatomy class করবে. Peritoneum has get a lot of fat. They protect our internal organs. Okay? They give a good shape. For example, one see a patient suffering from chronic malnutrition like cachexia. Look very ugly, na? So fat provides us good shape of our body. Next, fat also help absorption of some vitamins like fat-soluble vitamins. Vitamin A, D, E, A, these are all fat-soluble vitamins. Fat helps to absorb them. Okay? Anything else? So fat is very important. If you use one spoon of ghee with your food, it increases the taste, right? So they also increase taste of our food. So you can see there are a lot of functions of fat. How can we classify lipids? Everything written in your book, you don't have to write anything. Okay, sir? So lipids we can classify them in 4 types. Simple lipids, these are nothing but a fatty acid with alcohol. Simple lipids. Compound lipids or complex lipids, they have, apart from fatty acid and alcohol, they have one additional groups attached with them. So they form complex lipids. Derived lipids, these lipids are derived from either simple or compound or both. Okay? And next part is miscellaneous. Simple lipid like triacylglycerol. This is called triacylglycerol. Okay? And some other example like wax. They are semi-solid. Okay? These are all simple lipids. They have only this thing, fatty acid with alcohol. So you may ask in the bio exam, what is simple lipid? This is comprised of fatty acid with alcohol. Okay? Next, complex lipids or compound lipids. In addition with fatty acid and alcohol, it is a one functional group like phospholipids, glycolipids, lipoprotein is a protein or glucose or phosphate attached as a group that form complex lipid or compound lipid. And next is derived lipids. They are simply formed from hydrolysis of simple or compound lipids like fatty acids, steroids, eicosanoids, ketone bodies. These are example. Okay, these are all derived lipids. And miscellaneous like squalene. This is a thing which actually formed during the synthesis of cholesterol. Squalene. And carotenoids. These are all precursors of vitamin A. Carotenoids. These are all. They do not go in these groups, but they also have lipid property. Next, simple lipids, as I told earlier, they are esters of fatty acid with glycerol or either other higher alcohol. These are fatty acid plus alcohol. Example, triacylglycerol or triglyceride, or neutral fat like fatty acid plus glycerol. It is a concentrated source of energy and most abundantly found in our body. Waxes, these are all fatty acid with cetyl alcohol. They actually used in cosmetic industry. Okay. Commercially they use in cosmetic industry. Waxes. These are all simple lipids. ठीक है सर? Next, complex lipids or compound lipids. As I told earlier, fatty acid plus alcohol with one additional group. Okay. Accordingly, we can divide them like phospholipids and non-phospholipids. Compound lipids, phospholipids and non-phosphorylated lipids and lipoproteins and sulfur containing groups. Let's discuss one by one. Phospholipids, they contain phosphoric acid. They can divide in two parts again, nitrogen containing and non-nitrogen containing. Nitrogen containing glycerol phospholipids like lecithin by phosphatidylcholine, Cephalin like phosphatidylethanolamine and phosphatidylserine. Okay, you may find anyone as a short note. We will discuss in later classes. এখান থেকে কোনো একটা শর্ট নোট পেতে পারো, phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylserine. Actually, this topic is very important for MCQ purposes. Okay, when you go for PG entrance exam, you may find MCQ. Very hot topic for MCQ. Next is non-nitrogenous glycerol phosphatides like phosphatidylinositol, phosphatidylglycerol, diphosphatidylglycerol like cardiolipin. Okay. Next is plasminogens having long chain alcohol like choline, plasminogen, ethanolamine, plasminogen. And is phosphosphingolipids with sphingosine and sphingomyelin. They are present in neuronal cells. I have taken this from Vasudevan. Read from Vasudevan. So complex lipids we have fatty acid plus alcohol plus group either phospholipid with nitrogen containing and non-nitrogen containing. Nitrogen containing example lecithin, cephalin, etc. Non-nitrogen containing like phosphatidylinositol, phosphatidylglycerol, phosphatidyl cardiolipin. These are all nitrogen, non-nitrogen containing. Plasminogens having long chain alcohol like choline plasminogen and ethanolamine plasminogen. And another thing is sphingosine and sphingomyelin. Okay. Next, non-phosphatidyllipids According, if we present carbohydrate, we have glycose sphingolipids. Glyco means glucose, glycose sphingolipids. Like cerebrosides, they present in cerebral brain. Ceramide monohexosides and globosides, ceramide oligosaccharides. Gangliosides, they present ganglion, ceramide plus oligosaccharide plus N-acetyl neuramininic acid. Next is sulfolipids or sulfatidides, lipid plus sulfate. Example, sulfated cerebrosides, sulfated globosides, sulfated gangliosides. And another thing very important, lipoprotein. Lipoprotein is very important. You may find short note. Lipoprotein. Example, chylomicron, very low density lipoprotein, low density lipoprotein, high density lipoprotein. Okay. So if you find by lipoprotein, you have to write lipid containing protein. They present in blood. Okay. LDL, it bring cholesterol to liver by HDL. HDL bring cholesterol from peripheral organ to liver, and LDL, if you hide LDL, causes heart disease, atherosclerosis. Yes, sir. How can you separate them? We separate them by the process of ultracentrifugation. Yes, sir. We discuss in our next classes lipoprotein. Ultracentrifugation. Okay. We can separate them by the process of electrophoresis. Anyone heard this term? Lipoprotein, lipid plus protein. They present in blood. Example, chylomicron, VLDL, LDL, HDL. We can separate them by the process of ultracentrifugation. Centrifugation or electrophoresis. बोलो. These are all compound lipids. Derived lipids, they are compounds which are derived from lipids, derived from simple lipids or complex lipids, or precursor of lipids, which possesses the characteristics of lipids. Example, fatty acids, glycerol, monoacylglycerol, diacylglycerol, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K. These are all derived lipids. Steroids, cholesterol, even ketone bodies, prostaglandin, leukotriene, these are all in this group derived lipids. They form because of hydrolysis of either simple lipid or complex lipid or compound lipid. Yes. So if you ask an exam, क्या बोलते हो? What is derived lipid? तुम बोलो दाओ. तुम्ही yes. What is derived lipids? ठीक है. बैठ जाओ. Next तुम बोलो. हाँ yes. Yes madam. What is derived lipids? ठीक है बसो. Backbench. बोलो what is simple lipid? Yes. बोलो what is compound lipids? Group. Very good. Tell me one or two name of groups. Okay, very good. These are very simple thing but very important. Next. So these are derived lipids. Next, miscellaneous lipids. They are lipids are categorized as compound with lipid characteristics. They include carotenoids, terpenes, squalene, various hydrocarbons, Okay, example, carotenoids, the precursor of vitamin A, carotenoids, they found in plant as orange or yellow pigment. Okay, and yeah, they also use as food coloring substance. While terpenes are large class of organic compounds produced by a variety of plants, they possess the characteristics of lipids. Okay, please go through your textbook, otherwise you forget everything. Simple lipid, compound lipid, derived lipids and miscellaneous lipids. Next, discuss about fatty acid. Fatty acid actually derived lipids. They are aliphatic carboxylic acid with hydrocarbon side chains. They are included in the group of derived lipids. They are a simplest form of lipids and found in our body abundantly. Fatty acid present in our body either free form or bound with albumin. Okay. They are mainly occurs in the esterified form as major constituents of various lipids. They are also present as free. There is unesterified form fatty acids. Fatty acids general formula are COOH. R means one group, methyl group with COOH carboxylic acid. This is a polar side. This is non-polar side. Polar means they can attach with water, non-polar they do not attach with water. Depending on the R group, the physical property of fatty acid vary. Classification of fatty acid depending on the number of carbon atoms. If it is 2 to 4, depending on the length of carbon chain, short chain it is 2 to 6 carbon atom. Medium chain 8 to 14 carbon atoms, long chain 16 and above up to 24 carbon atoms, and very long chain is more than 24. Depending on the total number of carbon atoms, even chain there is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 etc. like this. And odd chain there is 3, 5, 7 etc. In our nature, usually we found 14 to 20 carbon even chain fatty acid in our body more abundantly. Classification depending on the number of carbon atoms, depending on the length of hydrocarbon chain, depending on nature of hydrocarbon chain. Like saturated fatty acid, that is there is no double bond. Okay, there is no double bond in between this group and COOH group. Unsaturated means there is number of double bonds there. If it is one double bond, there is unsaturated fatty acid. There is more than 2, then it is called polyunsaturated fatty acid. Next, nomenclature, even chain, odd chain fatty acid. Most of the fatty acids they require natural lipids are of even numbers, like 14 to 20 carbon. This is due to the fact that biosynthesis of fatty acid mainly occurs with the sequential addition of 2 carbon units. Example, palmitic acid and stearic acid. Odd chain fatty acid, example, propionic acid, valeric acid. Okay, we may ask in the exam, Viva exam. Please tell me one even chain fatty acid name, odd chain fatty acid name, saturated and unsaturated fatty acid. Saturated means there is no double bond in this chain, and unsaturated means there is presence of double bond. If it is one double bond, that is called monounsaturated unsaturated fatty acid. There is more than 2, that is polyunsaturated fatty acid. Clear? Simple. Numbering of very important. How to number them? So this is an example of 16 carbon polyunsaturated monounsaturated fatty acid. Okay. So numbering either C carbon chain according to carbon chain. You can number them from here. COOH group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This like this. Okay. Or the second carbon, there is apart from COOH, you can number them alpha, beta, gamma, delta like this. From here, alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Okay. And another numbering is omega numbering. We can number them from here for methyl group. Omega 1, omega 2, omega 3, omega 4, omega 5 like this. বুঝতে পারলে C like this. So numbering like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 like this. CH3, CH2, CH2, CH, CH2, CH2 like this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. This number 9, 10, 11, 12 like this. And according to omega numbering, this is omega 1, omega 2, omega 3, omega 4 like this. ठीक है सर? This is omega 1, omega 2, omega 3, omega 4, omega 5, omega 6, omega 7, omega 8 like this. Clear? So carbon adjustment to this carboxyl carbon are of 2, 3, 4 and so on. Alternatively alpha, beta, gamma. Alpha start from here. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta like this. And this terminal carbon containing methyl group is known as omega. And starting from this methyl chain, the carbon atoms in fatty acid are numbered as omega 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. বুঝতে পারলে? Any question? No confusion? You can see here linoleic acid. Okay, it has 18 carbon. So we number like this C18, C18. Next, it has two double bond. You can see here one double bond and two double bond. Then you have to write here 2. Okay. Next, it has double bond. If you start from here, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it has here one double bond 9, and there is 12. In between 9 and 10, one double bond, 12 and 13 and double bond. So you can write them here like this. Delta 9, 12. Clear? Starting from C system. This is C18, 2 double bond and delta 9 and 12. 9 and 12. Clear? Delta means 9 and 12. 9 means in between 9 and 10. Clear? And 12 and 13 and double bond. So if you start from omega, then it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth number of 1 omega is there. Omega. So if you start omega system, then this from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Omega 6. Clear? Omega 6 fatty acid. Linoleic acid. Linoleic acid, again it has carbon atom C18, delta. Here it is, you can see 9, 12 and 15. 9, 12, 15. 3 double bonds. Okay? You can see here 1, 2, 3. Third carbon omega 3, it is one double bond start. This is called omega 3 fatty acid. This is double bond from here of omega system, omega 6 fatty acid. Clear? বুঝতে পারলেন? Any confusion? So these are number system. Unsaturated fatty acid. These fatty acids have a one or more double bonds in their structure. Those having a single double bond are called monounsaturated fatty acid or MUFA, and those with more than one double bond are called polyunsaturated fatty acid, PUFA. ठीक है सर? They are named by adding suffix enoic after the systematic name. They are similar to saturated fatty acid in the reaction of the carboxylic group, but also show a property due to presence of double bond. Okay, so if there is a double bond, so you can kink here, you can kink, you can rotate. This is not rigid. Okay, this is because double bond they can kink, so they exhibit geometric isomerism at the double bonds. They can kink, they rotate. All the naturally occurring fatty acids have the cis configuration. However, in the body during metabolism, trans fatty acid are formed. Polyunsaturated fatty acid exist in cis configuration in naturally occurring liquids. Okay, they are very good, very fatty acids for our health. They lower bad cholesterol level. They increases good HDL level, good cholesterol HDL, increases HDL level. They prevent coronary artery diseases. Okay, they present in retina, they present in brain. Okay, they help in brain development, retina development. Okay, they found in vegetable oils like sunflower oil, safflower oils. Okay, they present in breast milk. So clinical significance of PUFA. Linoleic acid and linoleic acid are polyunsaturated fatty acid, PUFA. They are called essential fatty acid because they cannot synthesize by the body and have to supply by the diet. Unsaturated fatty acid also differentiate omega-3 family, linoleic acid, omega-6 family, linoleic acid and arachidonic acid, omega-9 fatty like oleic acid. Arachidonic acid in the precursor of prostaglandin. Arachidonic acid can be synthesized in the body from linoleic acid if the latter is supplied in the diet. The pantanoic acid present in fish oil is of great nutritional importance, omega-3 unsaturated fatty acid. Eicosanoids, the eicosanoids, there is 20 are derived from 20 carbon arachidonic acid. They are polyunsaturated acid, fatty acid. They are prostanoids, this is prostaglandin, prostacyclin, thromboxane, and Lipoproteins. Okay, you read in your next lecture classes, other classes. Prostaglandin, prostacyclin, these are things. ठीक है सर? This is structure of linoleic acid. This is structure of linoleic acid. These are two essential polyunsaturated fatty acid. This is called semi-essential because it can be generated from linoleic acid. Okay. Trans fatty acid, you can see here, this is cis form. Oleic acid, here you can kink and form like this. This is called trans form, enoic acid. Okay. These are not good for our health. They causes lot of diseases like atherosclerosis, heart disease. They use in food industry. They like chips, biscuits. Okay, so if you consume lot of cheese, lot of biscuits, lot of chips, ango chips, they were the term ango chips, kurkure, right? They are not good, very bad for your health. Not good. Domino's pizza, have you heard the term? KFC chicken. They use this trans fatty acid. They are not good, very bad for your health. Everyone knows trans fatty acids. They also present in dietary products. Dairy products, hydrogenated edible oils, they are generally considered to be injurious to health. However, they are used in food industry as they increase the shelf life of the fried food. While containing PUFA, Why? Bacteria also hate this. Well-containing PUFA also have high content of trans fatty acid. Fast food preparation have high trans fatty acid content. ঠিক আছে? বুঝতে পারলেন সবাই? Next. Trans fatty acid had adversely affect multiple risk factors including plasma lipid, lipoprotein, systemic inflammation, endothelial dysfunction, insulin resistance, diabetes, obesity. It is high in processed food, bakery products, where partially hydrogenated vegetable oils are used for cooking. ঠিক আছে? Next, property of fatty acid, hydrogenation. This means unsaturated fatty acid may convert to corresponding saturated fatty acid by hydrogenation of the double bond. Like linoleic acid, if we use 2 hydrogen, it forms linoleic acid. Again 2 hydrogen, oleic acid. Again 2 hydrogen, stearic acid. Hydrogenation of the oil can lead to solidification and saturation like banaspati, dalda. Yes, banaspati is a hydrogenated fatty acid. Halogenation, they are also called iodination. When treated with halogens under mild conditions, the unsaturated fatty acid can take up 2 halogen atoms to each double bond to form halogenated derivatives of the fatty acid. The number of halogen atoms taken up will depend on the number of double bonds and is an index of degree of unsaturation. Like oleic acid, it use 1 iodine atom form diiodoleic acid. Melting point, unsaturated fatty acid have lower melting point compared to saturated fatty acid because they have double bond. Double bond means very easily they can break. For example, stearic acid, C18 fatty acid, no double bond, has the melting point 69 degree. Oleic acid, again 1 double bond 13 degree. Linoleic acid, 2 double bond minus 55 degrees Celsius. That means in normal temperature they form as liquid form. Linoleic acid, 3 double bond, so they can melt in minus 10 degrees Celsius. Okay, sir? Salt formation. Saturated and unsaturated fatty acid, they form salt with alkali. They form soap with sodium and potassium. But calcium and magnesium soap are insoluble, while calcium soap used in as a grease. Grease are used in automobile industry. Yes, sir. Ester formation, both saturated and unsaturated fatty acid form esters with alcohol, especially with glycerol. Glycerol fatty acid, monoacylglycerol, monoglycerol fatty acid, diacylglycerol, diacylglycerol fatty acid, triacylglycerol. Okay, so this is a long list table. You can go through it first table. Coconut oil, here high number of fatty acids, they are saturated fatty acid. Monosaturated 12%, PUFA very less, 2%. Cotton seed oil, 50% PUFA. This is a very important table for your MCQ. Safflower oil, 79% PUFA. Sunflower oil, 64%. Very important, this table. This table I have taken from Vasudevan. Go to there. Oxidation fatty acid, all trans fatty acid undergo oxidation in the body to give energy. Beta oxidation fatty acid we read in our several lecture classes during process of beta oxidation. Okay. This is a major process by which fatty acid are oxidized. However, in unsaturated fatty acid can undergo auto oxidation due to the presence of highly reactive double bonds. So this is to put a discussion, short discussion. Please go to these books. Lipid definition, functional lipids, classification, simple lipids, compound lipids, derived lipids, miscellaneous lipids, fatty acids, classification fatty acids, Nomenclature very important. Fatty acid, nomenclature, functional fatty acid, clinical significance, trans fatty acids, properties of fatty acids. So you may ask in the exam fatty acids, very important topic. Fatty acid, short note, I mean long question, clinical questions are there. Yes, any question? No question? Please go to textbook today. Read the other to forget everything. সব ভুলে যাবে, নাহলে সব কিছু ভুলে যাবে, আজকে করে নেবে কি, ঠিক আছে? থ্যাংক ইউ।